Hey everyone, this is ED. I have a Halloween thriller video for you, and it's called Pumpkin Tales, The Underground Night Dweller's Strange Taste. Let's get started, everyone. 200 to 300 feet underground is the lair of the night dwellers. No other name would be fitting for this half-human, half-creature being. These creatures have lived under the streets of the subway for centuries without revealing their presence. Workers who venture down into the subways to make repairs are unaware that they are being watched by these creatures. These creatures live many feet below the tracks of the subway tunnels. Mythical stories depicted the creatures as having a tall stature like a man, 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 hands, and 1 head. What contrasts this creature from a man was its lizard-like hands and feet. Its head partly resembled a man's head in shape, except for the fissure at the top. It was 1 inch wide and kind of deep. Its ears were like sharp, narrow, long ridges, similar to 2 even peaks on a tall mountain top. From what the legend said, these creatures stayed away from humans, for the most part, unless their food supply became scarce underground and no other sources were available. One person who survived an encounter with one of these mythical creatures. Be mindful this was a long time ago. Said the creatures move with swiftness like an animal to close in on their prey. They have a pack mentality similar to a wolf. In the 1800s and prior to this time, these creatures came to the surface where humans live. This was the first time the creatures were ever seen by humans. The unfortunate victim, and his name was Hugo, was walking home at night, and as he was walking the path on the dirt road, he heard some noises coming from the trees off the road. His curiosity compelled him to stand still and observe the area where the tree branches were moving about. He heard the branches snapping, snap, snap, as someone or something was getting closer to his direction. It dawned on him that it might be a pack of wild wolves, so he picked up the pace and began running forward on the path to get ahead of whatever was coming his way. His curiosity urged him to look back, and suddenly he saw one night dweller. Then another, and more emerged onto the path he was running on. His heartbeat hastened. He had never seen a gruesome sight such as that before. The night dwellers pursued him as a wolf pack would its prey. Fortunately for him, as he made a turn around the swervy road, he came upon 5 horsemen. The horseman asked him, "Whoa, whoa, who or what are you running from? You're running like a madman, like you've seen a ghost." Hugo said, "I saw what looked like a ghost." It was hard for him to breathe since he was running at such a rapid pace. And the horseman told him to settle down and catch your breath. He continued to look back, but he no longer saw the creatures following him. He asked the men could they give him a ride home. He had to get home. Something was trying to take his life, he said. He begged them to take him home and that he would pay them handsomely for the ride home. One guy accepted his offer and rode him home as quickly as possible. The other 4 horsemen continued riding in the direction from which Hugo was fleeing. They assumed he had consumed more than his share of spirits and lost his sense of reality. Hugo arrived safely home and gave the rider the sum of coins he had promised him. The rider rode off to catch up with his fellow riders. As he passed that same road Hugo was coming from, he immediately noticed his group of riders scattered about on the ground. He was shocked, and he dismounted his horse to see whether they were alive. He checked for breath, and there was none. They looked extremely pale, and there were no signs of loss of fluid on the ground. He was puzzled about how this happened to his kinsmen. They looked like dried up prunes. He pondered how he would explain this phenomenon to their families and to the constables. The first thing he did was mount his horse and return to Hugo's home to question him about his strange encounter with these creatures. Hugo described to the horseman that the creatures stood tall, like a man, and had white eyes, very penetrating eyes. They moved very quickly, and if he hadn't come upon the horsemen on the road, he would not be alive. They looked like desperate creatures and would do anything to survive, Hugo said. The horsemen didn't know what to think of Hugo's response. He was stunned beyond belief, but he knew that something was amiss. Something caused his mate's demise, and he wanted to find out what happened. As time passed, Hugo and the last horseman received an invite to the afterlife. They never saw the creatures again. Now the 20th century has arrived, but whatever became of the night dwellers? We'll find out as I continue with this tale. If you're interested in finding out whatever became of the night dwellers, then see part 2 of Pumpkin Tales and the Night Dwellers. If you'd like to support my channel, then subscribe And also share this video with others. And I'd like you to leave some comments so that I know what you think about the video, and also leave some likes and dislikes. So look for my video next time, Pumpkin Tales and the Night Dwellers, Part 2. Thanks a lot for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to Info Pro. So long.